Alright, you guys, there are a lot of ways to solve quadratic equations, but probably the one that works with everything and maybe the one you'll use the most is the quadratic formula. When you have a, b, and c, let me write the standard, oh, it's right there, standard form. You can use this to solve anything. I'm going to sing it for you again. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And you can solve anything. Sometimes you'll get irrationals, sometimes you'll get imaginaries, but you'll always get a solution. Though I probably shouldn't say always. If the denominator is equal to 0, it's undefined, but you're not going to see that happening too much with us. I started one of these when my son came and got me, so I had to do this guy over again. Let me show you. This guy has an a, b, and c. Negative 5 is a, negative 2 is b, and c is negative 8. If we plug it in, right, x is equal to negative 2, that's positive 2, plus or minus the square root of negative 2 squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a, negative 5 and negative 8 for the c. This came out to negative 160. 4 minus 160 was negative 156, which I put over here to break down. Only 2 came out, right? And I got 2 plus or minus 2 rad 39 over negative 10. Whenever you have a denominator and a pair of factors, I say pair because this plus and minus sign splits 2 and 2 rad 39, so those are both factors of a binomial. You can reduce them, and since 2 goes into both 10 and both of these 2's, 2 divided by 2 is 1, 2 divided by 2 is 1 rad 39, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. And I think I divided by negative 2, so all the signs changed up top, and my negative 10 turned into a 5. Anyway, that left me a b. So let's get b. We got to bring everything over, so plus 1, and I got 7x squared plus 2x plus 4 equal to 0. And I'm just going to put an a there, a b there, and a c there. And I'm going to start over here, but I'm end up shooting to the top. So we got x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a n times c all over 2 times a. So if I do this, I've got x squared equals negative 2, I believe, plus or minus the square root of 2 squared is 4, and then we just do this whole thing, right? We see that there is a negative and 2 positives, all right? So that gives me a negative, and 4 times 7 times 4 is 112 over 7 times 2, which is 14. We'll bring it up here, right? Move it all the way up. Oh, the little arrow. Alright, so we got negative 2 plus or minus, well, 4 minus 112 is what? Negative 108 all over 14. I'm going to give myself a little bit more room and break down 108 over here. I hope that fits. Can't tell where the end of my paper goes because I got stuff underneath. So that's what? 2 and 54, which is 2 and 27, which is 3 and 9, which is 3 and 3. And all these pairs come out, and that one stays in. So 2 and 3 come out, which gives me negative 2 plus or minus 2 times 3 is 6. Rad 3. Let's bring our I out there too, because there was a negative in there. I should have brought the negative out. All over 14. And once again, all of these factors share a factor of 2. So if I divide everything by 2, I get negative 1 plus or minus 3i rad 3 over 7. I'm pretty sure these are right, but there's a chance I'm wrong on a couple of these. Fix me if you get something different while you're going through it or see me making a mistake, but I think I'm doing them right. Here we go. Next one. Everything's over here, so I have a is equal to 6. B is equal to negative 5, and C is equal to negative 4, and we'll do it in the quadratic. Here we go. X is equal to negative B, that's 5, plus or minus the square root in parentheses b squared. Don't forget to put that negative in the square root. Minus 4 times 6n times negative 4 all over 2 times a. Let's go through. 5 plus or minus the square root of negative 5 squared is a positive 25. And you see how there's two negatives, so that's going to be a plus, right? Anytime there's an even number. Oh, let me do this. I'm going to get a calculator. Times 6 times 4, 96. All over 12. It gives me 5 plus or minus, what is that, 121, I think? Well, that's nice. Square root of 121. All over 12. Hey, something working out nice here. We'll go up here. 5 plus or minus 11. Square root of 121 over 12. Then we're going to split it. We've got 5 plus 11 over 12, because I can do this one, and 5 minus 11 over 12. What is that, 16 twelfths? Which I'll write is x equals 16 twelfths, which reduces to 4/3. Then we got x equals, what is that, negative 6/2, which gives me negative 3. So I got x equals 4/3 and x equals negative 3. Again, check me. The process is right, but I'm moving a little quick, so the video's not too long anyway. Going right here, we're going to subtract 2x. And I've got x squared plus 6x plus 12 equals 0. This is kind of nice. Our a is really nice, right? There's our b of 6 and our c of 12. X is equal to negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 12 all over 2 times 1, which is just 2. So here we go. X equals negative 6 plus or minus 6 squared is 36. All that is still negative. One negative makes a negative. 48 all over 2, which gives us negative 6 plus or minus the square root of negative 12 all over 2. I'll break down 12 up here for you. 2, 6, and 2 and 3, so we can see the 2's come out, 3 stays in, the I comes out, so we got x equals negative 6 plus or minus 2i rad 3. That's what that breaks down into. All over 2, and once again these are both divisible by 2, so is that, so we're just going to reduce them both by 2. X equals negative 3 plus or minus I rad 3. Now, if someone fixes me, I'll be fixed. But if not, I think we're done with that. And we'll talk to you soon.